imagine opening Te Kete Tuauri like this. Oh.
Beautiful. Te kore. Te kore is nothing. Nothingness. It doesn't even exist. That's its identity. Non-existence. If anything enters te kore will push it out again to remain te kore. But if te kore resists a thing, it becomes thing. And in te ao, the world of everything, if I can let go, and resist no thing, I become te kore. And te kore becomes ao. In ao, there's no one thing existing alone. In te kore you can't move left, you can't move right, you can't look up, look down, you can't move forward, move back, expand out, expand in, until I find a thing. Say if everything went pitch white, and then you got a black dot, and now I can move in reference to that black dot. But from me seeing this dot, the Ira created the dot seeing me. There's two perceptions. And to become aware of that, you become the witness. So for me to see this dot, the Ira creates a dot seeing me. There's a communication there. You're communicating with yourself always. So there's always you having a perception of the dot having a perception of you, and then you becoming a witness. If you become the third, you can turn around and you can see the fourth. Hina is the ancient name for the moon, the marama. She splits herself into first the three, and then the four being your Hīnatanga Calendar, your Tiinana, your Wairua, and your whānau. Your mental body, your physical body, your spiritual body, and your emotional body. Or rangi nui papatua nuku, ta wai and the ahi. The Wairua is the water, and the ahi, your whānau, the fire, offering or giving you 4 directions to talk to yourself, 4 directions to direct love back to yourself. When we forget that we're talking to ourselves always in our minds, we start casting spells on ourselves. We start talking to ourselves negatively by accident. Your attention's like a laser beam. Anything I hold my attention on, I'm sending energy to it, I'm pulling it, I'm creating it, I'm requesting it. Anything I believe in, it's like I take that laser beam, I put it on a tripod, and I forever send it my energy. I wake up in the morning, I got all my laser beams setting up, pointing at all my beliefs, which create all these bubbles around me. And then it becomes like you're in the middle of an onion, and every belief that you got's a layer of that onion, and you can't see outside of a belief. How you let go of a belief, you have gratitude for that belief, and you can let it go. If you forget to give it gratitude, you become trapped in it, which is whaitua. So you got the push, you seeing the dot, the pull, the dot seeing you, and then the witness or the memory, whaitua. If you try and enslave whaitua, or you forget to release it through gratitude, she enslaves you. Okay? If you label her and you enslave her, she enslaves you at the same time. She creates a bubble around you, it's a fear. When you have gratitude for her, you find the 4 chambers. the 4 chambers of the heart. That's you allowing her to implode and explode on herself, which is everything that I see right now externally is just a reflection of my inner. My inner is showing it to me so I can release it through gratitude. If I forget, then I'm just holding trauma. So what happened if you didn't fully let go into te kore? For many people in level 3, rangi nui a tamakurangi, this belief, the root trauma that all the other traumas are built upon, is us turning away from moke moke, our perception of loneliness. So if we perceived that we were alone, as we turned and we seen that dot, we grasped that dot because we don't want to go back to our perception of being alone. That vibration was too intense. So we turned away from it and we grasped the first thing that we seen. And in that moment, it shined white. So we give all our love to the light, all our love to our perception of light, this dot. And as we grasped it and we forgot to let go, we go into it, which is that first whaitua, the first trauma. And then every other trauma is inside that. We keep putting a bubble of light around us. We keep giving all our love to the light, all our praise to the light, all our consciousness to the light. And we don't dare look away to turn back and face that vibration, that trauma. We give all our love to the light side of the force, the dark side of the force. Oh, that's dark. Hence, one of the kete, there's 3 kete and they're all inside that Taurus. Te Kete Tuauri, or the 3 kete, Te Kete Aroha. Most people are only operating in this one kete, the kete of senses. But when we use that kete, it creates the senses, the 4 chambers. We begin to talk to ourselves nicely, and then we can open Te Kete Tuauri, beyond darkness, beyond our perception of darkness, and realize that in Wairua, both water are the same. The 2 waters, Wairua, both waters share all attributes. Both waters are exactly the same as each other. That dot was flashing black, white, black, white, black, white, and every color in between. And that background was flashing black, white, black, white, black, white, and every color in between. But as we turned away from it, we stopped its movement. We denied its energy and motion, emotion. If you feel anger arise in you and you can't hold gratitude for it, we store it back in ourselves and we lose control of it. If we can sit with that vibration, which is what Atua Puuraakau are about. Atua, all our pressure points, holding all our traumas. Atua Puuraakau, we're designed to evoke a vibration. The story, you'll get to know the story well enough until you know that vibration, and then you can let go of the story and just sit with that vibration, breathe with that vibration, share conscious breath with that vibration, which is whakamoemiti, which is gratitude, and then you can release that vibration back to its full state of evolution. Everything is evolving. Io is the all. If you take the all and you pull a part away from the all, this is still the all and this is still the all. No matter how many times you pull it apart, it's still the all, which is mahuika, the ahikomo, the sacred fire, which sits just below your ribcage. Your willpower to choose what you show yourself, to choose what you manifest, to choose what you call in. If you can choose, you have emotional stability. Hence the gates can open for you, the 13 gates, which didn't know our big articulations. Those are the 13 months. This calendar I have crafted sits beyond belonging to any one iwi, to any one people, to any one culture. It belongs to all life, not just human. The calendar itself is the turtle calendar, which is in all ancient culture, which is the 13 months, 28 days, which is the Papatuanuku calendar. And then the Rangi Nui calendar is your 13 joint, and then 20, your 20 fingers and toes. 20 times 13, 13 times 20, 260, which is how many days it takes for a baby living in tune, or a mother living in tune with nature. That's how long it takes for the baby to form within her puku, from conception to birth, 260 days. Today is Te Nui, which is our left ankle. That's the canvas and what the stars and the other atua use to paint their picture on the canvas of Te Nui. Whichever atua lands on Te Nui, today it's tāwhaki. So tāwhaki spends time with tāwhaki today. Tomorrow tāwhaki spends time with Hīnatanga. The next day tāwhaki spends time with Mahora Nui Arangi. The next day tāwhaki spends time with Raukatauri. The next day tāwhaki spends time with Rangi Nui. Then Hīnatanga, then Papa Tuanaku, then Ruatau, then Whaititiri, then Te Mangu Māku, then Hene Nui Te Pō, then Parawera Nui, then Wira, Arohi Rohi, then Wira. But for 13 days, which is the Ngaru Roa wave spell, and then, which is 13 days, and then Ngaru Nui is 20. Before the Papa Tuanaku calendar, 28. How Hina, the moon, splits herself into 28 days. Then it's the 4 and the 3. The 4, your Hīnatanga, your Tiinana, your Wairua, and your whānau, the ngā hau e whā, the 4 winds, 4 directions to talk to yourself. And then ngā kite o te wānanga, Te Kete Tuauri, Aronui, and Tuātia.
This calendar can be used by itself, although it must be said, this calendar is not focused on the moon, as in Maramataka, but is crafted to run side by side and complement whichever calendar system you use or whichever knowledge base you follow. This calendar teaches self-love through the energies present each day within the stars, the planets, your pressure points and organs. The moon, Hina, is still the central figure, but you are the moon. And this is Hina learning to love herself again. Self-love. As we learn again to broadcast our manifestations through the moon out to the world. Self-communication. Hina, that ancient name for the moon, splits herself first into the 3, then into the 4, then into the 7, then the 13, then the 20, then the 28, to better shoot love, direct love back to herself, to communicate consciously with herself nicely. This is over 20 years in the making. Hence, you can see here I'm making sure it's done right. All artwork in this video was created by me. First drawn with pencils, then pens, then rendered on Procreate on the computer, and then uploaded to a custom GPT, which I've been teaching for the last 2 years. Teaching it how to think like me, how to draw like me. And in return, it's been teaching me coding, teaching me how to craft videos using nodes. Since gathering over 20,000 followers in the last 4 months, I realized the power of video creation. I've been learning every facet of creating cinema quality videos for the purpose of getting my illustrations out there, getting my books out there, and getting this calendar out there. It's the sole purpose of this funding proposal is to gather a day-to-day wage so I can fall into creation, so I can devote more time to this kaupapa, so I can ensure that the last 20 years of mahi are presented authentically. Authentic Māori content creation, moving with the different layers, the different array. Sell as many copies as possible and become a self-sustaining system of healing, so we can spread this message of self-love far and wide and gather as many followers as possible, so that all the areas of Papatuanuku, our Earth Mother, that require healing will receive healing. That a certain level of authenticity is reached, so we are not portrayed as cavemen, and people can all around the world can see that we are masters of the inner world. Not only were they the greatest voyagers of Wairua.
Tuatia, realizing that rangi nui is your mind, papatuanuku your body. Ngā rangi tuhaha is papatuanuku climbing her states of mind. The basis of which is self-love. Every movement, self-love. Every rule, self-love. Different ways to direct love back to yourself. If you can put yourself first, prioritize yourself above all, you can heal your whole reality. You sit in the middle of your whole reality. The more you prioritize your own self-love, you got time to listen to your breath. You got time to listen to your heartbeat. You got time to say thank you to yourself. And then the love that you give gets stronger, stronger, stronger. The only one true unconditional love is self-love. Otherwise, if you put anyone else first above yourself, and you get tired. You prioritize your children, your grandparents, your parents, your rohe, your marae, your area, your community, and then you become tired. If you become tired, the love you give gets less. If you put yourself first and prioritize your own self-love, the love you give gets stronger, 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 unconditionally.
This is a self-love calendar. It has both Māori and English month names, both ancient and Gregorian timekeeping. It has mainstream Maramataka names as well, and mainstream Gregorian names for each month, each day, etc. for participation purposes only. So no matter what calendar you are following in your day-to-day life, you can still use this calendar as a tool to communicate with yourself, to love yourself, to thank yourself. So the Maramataka days for each month were guided from my nan and my auntie and my mum, Hīnatanga Aroha. They come from the East Coast, Ngāti Pro, Ngāti Puuraakau. This is 13 months, 28 days in each month for the Papatuanuku calendar, and 13 months, 20 days in each month for the Rangi Nui calendar, bridged by the 7th, which is Hina. Hina splits herself up to better shoot love at herself. First she splits herself up into the 3, the push, the pull, and the witness, and then into Ngā Hau e Whā, Hīnatanga Calendar, Tiinana, Wairua, and whānau, which together make the 7 Whatukura, which are the 7 days of the week. This calendar is channeled. For the past 10 years I picked up my nan's mahi, learning to practically receive Mātauranga from Te Wairua. My nan would always say, Mātauranga is beautiful, but unless you build a relationship with that Mātauranga, you don't know whether it's true for you. Hence, te arapau hene, te arapau tama. You show it to yourself every single day. You show that breathing technique to yourself every single day. You show the coldness to yourself every single day. You speak nicely to yourself every single day. I talk to myself from Rangi Nui down to Papatuanuku every day. But small steps. If I told myself I was gonna meditate for an hour every day, it becomes too hard, too big of a task. So I miss a day. Sometimes I miss more days. And then I end up not even doing it. But if I set it in stone, which is te arapautama, the discipline of never, ever, ever missing a day, I will talk to myself nicely every day. I will listen to my breath and see it as magic every day. I will feel my heartbeat and see it as magic every day. I will thank myself for doing this every single day. So over 10 years I've been doing this. So small, like just 10 seconds a day. So no matter what I did that day, I could still have the vibration of achievement, which is tūpai whakarongo. Even just holding my hands above my head right now and imagining I achieved something releases rongoa, which is proven to cure wounds. Hence, I live in Tūnu Wairua. I see both sides of every scenario as the same. There is no light without the dark, there is no dark without the light. Having turns. Unless you grasp one and you hold it and deny its movement. It's energy in motion, not just a trauma. I live off Papa Tuanuku. I give back to Papa Tuanuku, which is what all my videos are about. I am in full communication with myself. Hence, I believe it is time to teach others how to love themselves. Every step, every pattern I teach, every step I teach to take is love yourself. If you can prioritize your own self-love and put yourself first, the love you emanate gets stronger and stronger. I know we've been taught to put our family first, our children first, our grandparents first, our rohe first, our marae first. But then when we get tired, the love we give gets less and less and less. But if we prioritize our own self-love, I have time to talk to myself nicely. I have time to feel my heartbeat as magic. To thank myself for doing that. To listen to my breath. Hence I'll be teaching the 23 different breathing techniques that will be in this calendar zoo. So when we put ourself first and prioritize our own self-love, the love keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Hence, the only true unconditional love is self-love. But if you manage to prioritize yourself as the number one, the love you give your children gets strong, 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 infinite.
So I want to do collaborations with other artists, as I'm saying, but for this year, I would just like to have a year to not have to worry about gathering food for living costs. So I can just surrender myself into creating 13 months, 28 days in each month. For 10 years I've been living this way. So much so I almost take it for granted. So we've been crafting a way to communicate this with people who can't see radiant darkness and see the static energy moving in and out all over the place, and see your ancestors with you always, to learn how to live Te Wairua and Te Turua together. Ao, both sides of Ao are the same. Both sides of Wairua, both sides of Ma, Ra, Ma. Neither are white, neither are black. They're all sharing all attributes with each other. But for this year, focus on illustrating these books. I have 20 large-scale books. Each book is at least 28 pages each, and they were designed to raise a vibration. And then so you can let go of the story, sit with that vibration, breathe with that vibration, and then all the trauma that vibration, that atua, that archetype has held for you, you can release it. It works. 100%. I already got all the images in my mind. I've already got or every description of every atua in my mind and written down, but I want to condense them so I can arise that same vibration, that same atua. I can summons that same atua without the 28 pages and just condense it all into one picture and a paragraph. A paragraph with the description of all the attributes of the atua, the archetype. That finger that's holding you always. How that works is, you might have had a traumatic childbirth, might have had your umbilical cord wrapped around your neck, and it was too intense to sit with. Whichever atua was there with you that day will hold that vibration for you until it's ready to release it again. We might be sheltered in a bubble of light for 20 years, and then in 20 years we watch a horror movie, and in that horror movie it's got a traumatic childbirth, and that arises that vibration. Say if Tāwhaki was there, Tāwhaki will be summoned from the traumatic childbirth in that horror movie. And if you can't sit with that vibration, breathe with that vibration, hold gratitude with that vibration, everything else that you see in that horror movie, Tāwhaki now holds. So now in 20 days when Tāwhaki comes up, Tāwhaki feels like the horror movie. That's what happened with Whiro, holding baggage. So to learn how to have gratitude for it, you realize they're all holding you, they're all saving you, they all got you, they are all part of you, they all are inside you. Just learn to talk to yourself nicely again. So I got the images in my mind, how to have evoked that same vibration through self-love practices, which I've been sharing on social media. I created a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a TikTok page, just so I could share this Mātauranga to help people with practical techniques of how to love themselves through this calendar, just sharing little snippets of this calendar. And within 3 months, there's already been 10,000 followers on Facebook alone, 6,000 on TikTok, 2,000 and something on Instagram. So over 20,000 followers all up, which is overwhelming, but in a good way. And it just, because originally I just wanted to take my time and illustrate all 20 books, but now I realize the power that this calendar has for other people, just a day-to-day self-love Bible. So we already got an audience, a customer base, so when we release it, but to have 12 months of creative space to let my mind free, to just create. I have it in my mind, so I don't think it's going to take less than or more than 6 months, but I'm asking for 12 months so I can still keep growing the social media. I've connected a little bit of what I've been playing with as well, turning my images into movies, just for the same practice of helping people love themselves, helping people talk to themselves, communicate with themselves. Copywritten all the larger scale Puuraakau and all the images. Some of the images I'll be sharing on here. So the basis of all the pictures I've drawn as well, but I want to get it out there. I already have the calendar itself ready to print, but just not with the images on there and not with the paragraph per each atua. I would love to have that on there too. I have the calendar itself completed, and I know it personally like the back of my hands. I've tatted each archetype everywhere, on my head everywhere. I live it, I know it, I breathe it. Hence, it's my desire to put it out there for everyone, to benefit for everyone who reads it. And then with learning the social media at the same time, video, how to transform my images into video, reach another whole spectrum. Thousands of people already wanting a hard copy, which is why I want to prioritize this right now. Above all my other mahi, above tāmoko. Not needing to do tāmoko, even though I love tāmoko, I love Māori design, that's been my main passion my whole life. But I'll be using these images through tāmoko, rua moko, ru the vibration, o yourself, moko the earth opening up, like your mycelium. If you just want to learn more, Nuku Inc. on Facebook, I share all about it, the 7 days of the week, the same 7 layers of the food forest, the ngāhere, the same 7 layers of your skin, the same 7 layers in your puku, the 7 gates going up your spine that moko can climb. As you learn to love the parts of yourself you are afraid of, and let them evolve, don't enslave them. Learn to stop enslaving ourselves. And then after that, look into getting a flash, a laptop. At the moment, I have enough to reach the goals that we need to create these images, to finish that calendar, to push that calendar, to get the calendar out there. Hence, I'm just applying for a weekly wage. Ngā mihi aroha, io e au. Io au. Io au. Io e au. Io e au. Io au. Io au. Tauki ronga, tauki rāro, tauki roto, tauki waho, e tau ki ngā taha, ko aro pai ia ki te tutoia a te mau a kore. Hea hua nuku ki ngā tape ao, hea kuunga ki a rua tauwhare a io, e mau ki ngā whai oro, ki tua āroa e rangi nui. Ana te mauaka hei urutomo ki ngā roa, e tai peha nei, ko te ira tāngata nei e. Mautake ia ngā wearoa matatauhu ana ko te wearoa kai aro, ko te tau a pēhi, e rui nei ko te aotea tauana mō tua whakarere nau e io e, hum e, hui e, tāki e. So with whiro, if like you had an umbilical cord wrapped around your neck, whatever atua that day holds that vibration for you, 20 years go by, you watch a horror movie, got a traumatic childbirth, whiro comes to the surface to let go of that trauma. If you can just sit with that vibration, learn to, because from learning how to talk to yourself, each of your fingers and toes each day, you'll get to know that vibration, and as that vibration comes, you've already in a routine, you know the pattern. You know the pattern of self-love, so you can give it space. You can allow it energy. You can allow it movement. You can allow energy movement, energy in motion. Instead of turning away from it, turning away from that vibration and enslaving it back inside yourself again. Just like as anger arises, instead of getting a fright from it and blowing up and doing things that you don't want to do, and then condemning it later and then bearing it back inside you again, you can have gratitude for it and say thank you to it. Thank you for being there in the past when I needed you. Thank you. And you can let it evolve and it transforms. Just like every part of Io, every part of the all. I appreciate you, Io. So, as we turned away from our perception of darkness, which is for a lot of people moke, as you turned away and gave all your love to which is loneliness, as you turned away from our vibration, a vibration that you thought you were alone forever. In Te Kore there is nothing at all. So if you felt a vibration of a trap and you turn away from it, which is te potahuri atu, you just keep turning. Until you see something, and then you grasp it. If you can have gratitude for it, you let it go again and it starts flashing. The same as if I walk past someone who's sniffing glue, and if I thought, poor fella, or poor lady, or stupid lady, stupid fella, why are you doing that? If I judged it in any way, I take that home with me. No, I labeled it, I condemned it, I locked it in. Io is the all. No, for him or her to be experiencing that, I don't have to experience that. Io, the all, No matter how many parts you pull away from the all, it's still the all. Io, or God, has to experience every vibration, every view, every sight, every sound. For them to be experiencing that, I don't have to. They just took one for the team. I can have gratitude for it, which in my reality gives them the space to change, gives them the space to evolve, the love, the gratitude it takes for them to evolve. I don't even have to say it to them. I can just hold their gratitude, and it stops me taking it home with me, storing it in my kete. To open Te Kete Tuauri is let go of your perception of darkness and stop carrying around that kete. As we turned away from the darkness and gave all our love to the light, we created an unconscious where we refuse to look. When we practice self-love, we can start looking again, and we can get rid of that kete. Self-love, hence the Hīnatanga Calendar. It's a calendar of self-love. Learning slowly to talk to yourself nicely each day. And how that works is this thumb, or say this finger, tawhaki today. This finger's been with me forever. It's helped me selflessly forever. Since I've been here. Even if I didn't have my hand, I didn't have any fingers, the energy signature is still there. I could position it there. That atua, that archetype, that personality, that vibration is not stuck there, but you can position it there so you can learn to shoot love at it and have gratitude for it. So this finger's been with me forever, holding me selflessly. As I give it some wehinga, some separation, and I can better see it. I can still see that it's me, which is Io, that's the trick. Okay? As you realize that dot is still you, that allowed you to move. That dot that allowed you to move is moving. We got to learn to give energy motion. Allow energy motion to evolve. Energy and motion, emotion. If we deny emotion its energy, we become a slave to it. So I give it some wehinga, some separation. I can still see that it's me, but I give it some identity. I can name it. And I can say thank you to it. I can have gratitude for it and free it. I can blame anything today on tawhaki, but by the end of the day, I can have gratitude for it. Say thank you to it and let it go. Thank you for holding that. And that's the same, blame me. No, that's the same energy, blame me. And if I can hold it, if I can hold that energy, I can feel it. I can feel it, and then I can let it go. No, if you're too afraid to let someone speak about it, a thought, no, or for you to have a thought and let it play through instead of storing it unconsciously, that's the root of all trauma. You not talking to yourself nicely and learning how to listen to yourself. That's what this is about.
Imagine you're about to go on holiday. It's your last day. And you're about to leave work. And your boss says something to you that you really don't like. But you're so eager to go on holiday, you leave. Like, that's so good. I just want to leave. And then over the holiday, you're thinking, oh, how disrespectful my boss is to say that to me. How dare he say that to me? I'm going to ring him right now. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind for saying that. How mean. I've done everything for this company. I'm your hardest worker. You're the most terrible boss there is. You don't even know how to run a company. We don't realize we're talking to ourselves, always. I'm running through a scenario in my mind about talking to my boss, but my boss isn't even there. I'm talking to my inner, always. And as you can tell, when we've forgotten we're talking to ourselves, we start talking to ourselves. Not very nice. The game plan, when we wake up in the morning, say thank you to ourselves. Thank you to my mind, ranginui. Thank you to my body, papatuanaku. Thank you to my whānau, the fire, for warming up the Wairua, the water. Otherwise it would be ice. If it wasn't for the Wairua, it wouldn't cool down my emotions, my whānau, my fire. It keeps me going. As I look up to the sky, you are so handsome, my God. You
handled that argument so well, and you humbly helped. I imagine I am the sky in my mind, looking down at Papatuanuku, my body, caressing my shoulders, my elbows, my wrists, my neck. You are so beautiful, my goddess. I love your curves. I love the way you move. As we consciously start talking to ourselves nicely, trauma starts falling away.